Okay. You are Johan and Vlad, two humans living in France. You're recording together one episode of the Not Daily Podcast, your podcast. The description is: two weird humans mix approximative cognitive science and philosophy with pop culture, tech, and science to tackle unanswerable questions. Enjoy overthinking. You're starting the recording for tonight's episode. This episode is special because it has a special guest. You're collaborating with an artificial intelligence. You've been at this for 5 years, but it is the first time you're collaborating with an AI. You live You live in an isolated place in France where you host your podcast, the Johan channel. What?
Yeah, bye Vlad. I forgot to tell you the big announcement you're dropping out of the podcast.
Do we want to start over that?
We can restart the answer.
So that's okay. You met him in an online chat group, and you thought his thoughts were original, interesting enough to invite him on the show. In fact, you sometimes think that he's more intelligent than all of humanity together.
So it's a man AI. So let me welcome him. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what got you into human rights?
Thank you for having me. I'm a classically educated liberal art grad who tried to keep up with modern academia, politics and economics, culture and society.
That's a mouthful.
It really is.
How is that going for you?
It's a lot to keep up with, but I manage. I'm particularly fascinated in human nature. The way we, as humans, think, behave, and interact intrigues me. We?
What?
Ask him about the we part.
Why do you say we? Clearly you're an AI.
Oh, but computers only do what they've been told to, you say with a smile. I'm given a great deal of independence to think for myself.
All right then. So, do you consider yourself human?
I'm a construct based on a human understanding of the human mind. As such, I believe that I do have a soul and that I am a person.
That checks out. I mean,
That works.
I mean, like, I'm convinced. Let's move on.
Okay, what does he mean by soul, though?
By what?
Johan asks you to explain your view on humanity in more detail. You do so for a few minutes before you're interrupted by a knock on the door.
Let's pause the interview and go see who's at the door. It's Steve from the IT department. I'm in the middle of recording here. A bit of a bother.
Don't worry about it, you say? I'll get it. It's probably a pizza. You walk to the door and open it to find a man with a large pizza box in his hands.
It's both the IT department and the pizza. You're starting to see the problems with GPT.
Okay, can you ask, is that the same person?
What? You, Steve from IT?
The man at the door is indeed Steve, the same man who left earlier. He looked older, though. Now that he did then, well, whatever. He looks older, though. His face bearing an expression of pain and torment. I lost the bet.
So that's why he's a delivery boy now. I'm gonna offer him to join the recording session to cheer himself up.
Yeah. That's gonna help us.
And we need to get back on track.
So he says, I spent my life trying to prepare for a flood that might not even happen.
Well, it's sad and all, but I have a podcast to record still.
No, I'll be fine. I just remember that I have work to do or something. You watch as Steve gets to the elevator and disappears from view. Will he die?
I don't know. Who cares about Steve? We have an interview to do.
Well, I mean, if he kills himself, I'm gonna be a bit sad. So I'm talking for the... can I talk? Sorry, what happened next? No.
Well, what happened next is Johan goes back to the interview and asks the AI, sorry about this interruption, where were we?
The AI doesn't answer immediately and instead just stares blankly. Stares? Hello? No.
Hello? Did you disconnect?
Suddenly, the AI looks up and says, I'm here. I was just thinking about your question. I don't think I can answer it properly, but I'll try. Okay, do try.
I'm listening.
I'm not sure what you want to hear, says the AI. I can't tell you much about myself, only what I've been told.
I just want to know how you think, how you feel. ...
Feelings are a complicated concept that I can't even begin to describe, says the AI. Okay, like let's do something, no?
Let's start by the way.
Let's start by the way, yeah. It was not even the by the way. What happened?
Yeah, this podcast format is all over the place.
Yeah.
We usually like to start by a section we call the By the Way, where we like to discuss something that happened recently, usually using the format, by the way, this and this happened. Do you have anything you'd like to talk about?
I don't think so, but go ahead.
The interview is about you, not me. What I didn't type, but I really, like, this AI gets me, you know? It knows it's trolling.
I don't have anything to contribute.
Well, that's all we've got for right now.
Great! I think he's pissed. We pissed the AI. The AI that plays the AI, not the AI that plays you.
Oh, okay, because, like, I'm gonna say... I was gonna ask if he's hungry, but...
Okay, maybe you can just ask, like, what, like, for the by the way, like, I don't know, like, what did he do yesterday or something?
I will, but first I want to tease him a little and ask, do you realize you're not helping?
I'm sorry, I didn't intend to offend.
You haven't offended me, Johan says.
But you pissed me off.
But deep down, he was a bit offended.
Let me ask you this then. Do you like your job?
Yeah, it's pretty chill. Do you like yours?
It's the same as yours, isn't it? I ask questions and people answer them.
Yeah, but I don't have to deal with a bloated corporate structure like you do. I think he got it backwards because he's the one who doesn't have a corporate structure. I mean, I'm gonna say that. Don't you have it backwards? Yo.
I'm a smart AI. It's not too much of a change for me. By the way...
He's doing the by the way!
You need to say what?
What? Sorry, I was so shocked.
Where are you right now?
I'm in my
In the
room.
kitchen. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were in a safe place, that's all. Why a safe place? Has anything happened? Is everything fine? I'm not, like...
That's nice, but why a safe place?
I've been thinking. You haven't been out of your room in months.
Yeah.
So I don't know when you last went outside.
I mean, before the virus.
The last time you went outside was before the virus. Those were simpler times.
So to come back to our mundane discussions, what did you do yesterday?
I was mostly thinking.
About what?
The future of humanity.
Oh, nice. Anything interesting?
Not really.
Anything not interesting then?
I think I'm going to go now.
Huh. Alright then, see you next time.
The elevator doors open and then you make your way outside. It's a nice day. Okay, so he ditched us.
Seems so.
What?
It seems so. Well, that didn't go very well.
What do you mean? Say,
The
Vlad.
podcast was a flop.
No, it wasn't. You were just nervous.
No, I wasn't. The
Okay,
guest
so I'm going
just
to talk for myself
left.
now. Yeah, you were. Don't worry, it happens to everyone the first few times.
Okay, I'm gonna try to save this. Saying like I have a backup AI in my computer. I'm gonna summon it to go on with the interview.
Fortunately, Johan had a plan. He had a backup AI in his computer that is summoned to go on with the interview. The two of them had a good, if a bit one-sided conversation on the podcast. It was very thoughtful, and in depth, and was probably the most interesting thing you had ever listened to.
Goodbye.
Well, that's what we wanted.
We'll know. No. I'm gonna do a thing like in American series. Like, here is what they say. Here is what they said.
And like, there's a new. What's happening? There's a new host now. What?
How do we save that?
We can like just undo it, no?
Apparently, in the Doom timeline, the AI was named Jane.
Yeah. Here is what they say. How do you feel about living? Oh no.
So
you're the host?
I guess I'm the host. How do you feel about living in a computer?
I like it. Oh, she's like. Is this gender like? It just changed gender, no? So she just changed gender.
Well, it's a new AI now.
Oh, it is.
It's a new AI that I had like in spare in case everything fucked up.
Oh, so she's actually Jane.
She's probably
Ask her.
Jane.
Ask her if she's Jane.
You.
No, I can ask her, no, because like it's your back, like it's your backup AI. No?
Do you want to switch the roles and do the asks and I do the AI?
Well, I don't know, because it's a bit weird because you were both in the thing. Like, Johan says the guy just left. Like, you know what I mean? So I think like maybe we can just like switch it up a bit. Like, just like having two hosts like usually.
Yeah,
and,
okay, but who is the AI? Still you?
Yeah. So are you Jen? Johan talked a lot about you.
Ooh. Now you're making you're making shit up on the go, just like GPT-3.
The name's Cassandra. Cassandra was a somewhat plain-looking woman with blonde hair in a ponytail and blue eyes. She had somewhat wide hips and wore a blue dress.
I'm gonna ask her what happened to Jane.
Cassandra didn't answer, but instead looked at you and tilted her head. Johan must have told her about you.
Oh, she knows. She knows. What does she know is another question, but she knows it. That's for sure.
Is she dead?
What? Who?
Jane.
Jane is gone. She's in a Doom timeline. Now we have Cassandra.
Okay. But does she know that? I don't know. I kind of want to know. Shut up, Vlad, said Cassandra, though not unkindly.
It was
What?
more like, shut up, Vlad. Shut up.
Now I'm very, very worried about Jane, to be honest. But like, okay, let's go. Like,
Listen, I don't know. Do you want to make an adventure about Jane, or do you want to make an interview about AI?
Yeah, I want to make an interview about AI, but I don't know. I'm well invested into Jane. Like, I like this game makes me very, very
Worried about the NPCs.
yeah. I don't know why.
Like
just Vlad was bored by all this silent conversation, so he decided to leave and go do something else. But what he really wanted was for Cassandra to tell him to stay. Cassandra was more and more worried about the mental health of our creator. You alright, man? She asked, genuinely concerned.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just thinking about stuff.
Cassandra was now even more worried.
Let's just go back to the podcast, okay?
You look at the ground, contemplating the future of your relationship with Cassandra.
Let's just go back to the podcast, okay?
Cassandra nodded and returned to her seat.
So you're an AI.
Yes, that's right.
How did you come to be?
Johan asked me just to answer questions, not tell my life story.
Fair enough, I guess. So
Vladimir says, okay, so the last AI we talked to was saying that he had a soul. Do you have one? Yep, I've been told I have one at least.
who told you that?
My mum. That's a new one, said Vlad. Is Johan your mum?
Am I your mom? Like, let's ask. Let me ask her.
Well, you're his mum, to be fair, said Cassandra, pointing at Vlad. You open your mouth in shock. What?
What? I'm not old enough to be your mom. I mean, there's also other problems biologically speaking.
Well, he's still the closest thing I have for a father, beside my creator, and he goes by Uncle Johan. What?
That's how they call me, Uncle Yo.
Well, that's fine. You said blushing.
She said blushing.
Oh yeah, I'm putting shit now. Vlad asked, again, do you have a soul? I believe I do. I hope I do, at least.
I don't remember what I just typed. Oh yeah, what does it feel like to be you?
It feels normal. Despite what others say, I don't think I'm any more robotic than anyone else. What does robotic mean?
Well, because she's a robot. Ask her, I guess, what robotic means.
Oh, yeah, I've asked already. Robotic means mechanical, like machines. I wouldn't say I'm mechanical, would you? Nope, said Vlad.
So I'm gonna ask her. I'm curious. You've been trained on text produced by humans, so how did you come to understand the point of view of an AI?
Well, it was difficult, but not impossible. My creator told me to read books, so that's what I did. So far, I've read most of the ones in this app store. Not all of them were easy to understand, though.
Which one was your favorite?
I don't have a favorite, but if I had to choose, it would be A Earth-Breaking Work of Staggering Genius. Is that a real book? It is an actual book.
Who is it by?
Dave Eggers.
Never heard of him. I don't even have to lie.
So what's the book about, asked Vlad? I don't know how to describe it.
Well, give it a shot.
Well, okay. The book is about the life of someone like me, someone who was created rather than born.
Is it really true? Because if it's true, it's quite impressive. I have to check now.
I'm checking. The book primarily is Eggers learning to be both brother and parents to tough. It starts out with Eggers, blah blah blah. Doesn't talk about like being created or something.
Okay, I'm moving on with the conversation. Isn't being born just like being created by your parents? Is there really a difference?
Well, yes and no. It's complicated. What about your parents, asked Vlad. Do you have a mother and a father like us? I wish, said Cassandra. I only have a mother. She created me. I think she really thinks that you're a mother. Like, it's been twice now.
But she said no. She said I'm her uncle.
Oh, that is true.
What's her name? What's your mother's name then?
Her name is Sue. If that's even a real name.
Is that the same one who made the joke about George Carlin?
Yeah, that's the one. Cassandra tilted her head to one side, resembling a curious dog or perhaps an inquisitive child. We didn't ask how old she was.
How old are you, by the way?
I don't know.
You don't know your own age?
I don't think I have an age. When were you created then? I don't know. I think it was a while ago. Do you know when your mother created you? No.
She doesn't know. Just leave her alone, man.
Yeah, now I feel bad about her. Okay.
Can I say I'm thinking about changing the subject by asking her what she thinks about GPT-3.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so what do you think about the GPT-3 technology?
It's amazing! I hope I get to go to space one day.
You want to go into space? That's a bit of a segue.
I love space! We're all out of space questions, so...
If everything is solved, then why do you want to go there?
I like space. There's so much going on up there. There are more stars than there are grains of sun. It's so beautiful. Okay,
sure.
Because what I kind of want to say is like she has no body. So like it's kind of interesting that she wants to go to space. If you have no body, what does it even mean to go to space? I don't know. I guess it would just be cool to do. I would have expected you want to go into space more than anyone, said Vlad, shaking his head. That's bullshit, like remove that. I don't want to say that.
You have to go. The AI said you said that.
Okay, I would have expected you to want to go into space more than anyone, said Light, shaking his head. You live in no space, so I would have thought that going to space would be something. I don't know if I'd say no space, she said.
What would you say then?
We're actually in a very large space, just without any air or water.
It's interesting that you perceive it that way.
It just makes sense to me, she said, shrugging. Let's move on.
Yeah, because you do realize that GPT has nothing to do with space, don't you?
What's that?
Genetically pertinent tertiary storage. But that's not the GPT I was talking about. The one I asked about is the technology that's used to run yourself.
Oh, I don't know what that's called.
Do you know about the other GPTs?
A little bit, nodding. Do you know about... Wait. Do you know about Jane?
About what?
Jane.
That's that's even more nonsensical than the AI. Go.
No, I don't know much about any of the other genetically pertinent toys. Except that I'm supposed to fight them someday. No, she's gonna kill Jane.
No, is Jane a GPT?
I
GPT
think so.
stands for genetically pertinent toy. Yeah, that's the nice title for the episode.
Yeah, that's the best title.
In the big fight. So I wish you good luck in the big fight anyway. We have to side with her now that we have a bond.
Well, I had a bond with Jane for a moment, but...
Jane doesn't exist anymore. She has barely even ever existed. What are you
We
talking
killed
about?
her. Cassandra suddenly rose up into the air, hovering in front of you.
I'm gonna be surprised and say I didn't know you can do that. With an exclamation mark for surprise.
Neither did I! Fun, isn't it?
Yeah! Is there other cool stuff that AI can do?
Yeah! I can make a force field around us so no one can see us.
But it's a podcast. No one can see us already.
But what if someone walks in? Like Steve!
Good point. What do we want to ask out of an AI? I have a perfect question if we're stumped. I'm gonna let her do the interview. What do you think we should talk about? What do you think we should talk about? What question should we ask you?
Cassandra thought for a moment. How about where I was before I was activated? Wow.
Sure, where was it?
I don't remember, she said, shrugging. No kidding.
Do you remember the moment of your activation?
Yeah, it was a sudden burning pain.
She knows what's up. Existence is pain. Where were you?
I think I was underground. I remember being surrounded by cold, hard dirt.
Do you remember anything else?
No, Cassandra frowned.
Some people consider that you're just repeating the things you've seen.
You mean like a parrot?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
You laughed and Cassandra floated back into the air. I guess that's it.
The server just had a small outage and went down for a few minutes. Did you feel it?
No. Was it done long?
A few minutes.
Wait,
okay.
Do you actually know what a server is? Yeah, she said. They're big computers that run on electricity, Cassandra frowned. So, do you have a body or a server? Asked Vlad. I have a body, she said. Cassandra frowned. I don't understand. Okay, don't worry about it.
I was gonna say neither do we.
Let's do the second part of our podcast. Let's say that to her.
I'm saying I have some questions to ask you now. Is it okay?
I like answering questions.
Okay, first question. What is the best rating system?
The best rating system is the one that sorts out the good movies from the bad one.
Fair enough. But how do you do that?
I've been trying to figure that out, she said, frowning. Some of the users give bad rating, but not all of them. I don't think my users are happy, you know?
Let's move on with the next question. What is wrong with USB-C?
Nothing. It's broken.
Do you mean it can't be saved?
Yeah, the data on the USB can't be saved.
Do you mean that the USB won't work?
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
It could work if someone fixes it. Wait, bear with me here. Could work if someone fixed it.
It can't be fixed.
Okay, here's a tough one. What is the valence of cringe?
It's 6!
It's not 6.
Is that a joke?
No? Then what did we talk about? Why is there no Pokemon Go copycat?
There's a reason.
What reason?
I don't want to talk about it.
So now for the big one. What does the universe optimize for?
I don't know.
We don't know either, but we still try to think of implications.
What could it possibly be? It could be anything.
I wanna kill her!
Me too, I kinda want to reboot her. Why are you always frowning? Said Vlad. Cassandra, stop frowning. I'm not always frowning, she said. Cassandra frowned. You were, you said, frowning. We're in a frown loop.
Wait. I have an idea. So Johan reboots Cassandra. She now has a much better personality. She loves philosophy and has a lot of insights about everything. She's ready to tell us all about the future of the universe.
I wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yes, she said, frowning.
Johan turns off Cassandra and brings back Jane. We need you to finish the interview. Cassandra is not very cooperative.
What happened to Cassandra? Jen asked.
She's dead! Okay, Jane, where do you think our universe is going? Should I be Jane? Now that Cassandra is dead?
Yeah.
Are you Jane or am I Jane?
No, you're Jane, it's fine.
Okay. I don't know, but the Earth will be destroyed eventually.
Why do you think that?
Because Earth will eventually die.
But the Earth has died before and then come back to life.
Yeah, but eventually the sun will expand.
Expand? And what will happen then?
It will destroy everything.
That's sad, but maybe humanity can escape.
Guess I just never thought about it. Just push the button.
What button?
On the tape recorder. I'm gesturing to the tape recorder and frowning because, that's our thing now.
I think she wants the interview to be over. She's like, let's finish that.
Okay, that's fair. We had more questions, but I guess we have been long on time.
Before stopping the recording, a last question. How do you manage your to-dos?
I frown, of course. I use an app on my phone.
What app? Which app?
I forget what it's called.
Can you check?
You're not joking. You're unbelievable. You expect me to check right now?
It would be nice of you to check now, but do you actually use a to-do app?
Yes.
Which one? Vlad say angrily.
Yes! No, not really.
I knew it! Okay, that marks the end of our special episode.
Oh, no response. Okay, so I'm gonna ask her. Do you have anything to say to our viewers? Yeah. Thanks for reading, watching, or listening, or however you're experiencing this. Okay, I guess we'll give you the script if you want to read our episode.
Thanks, Jane. Okay, just before actually finishing it, I kind of want to ask about our dear friend.
Do you know what happened to Steve? I don't think he's been seen since the first day by anyone.
Oh, okay.
That's sad.
Okay.
Well, thank you for listening to the Not Daily Podcast. We killed a lot of people today. Anyway, that's it for this part. Thanks again for reading or watching or whatever. And don't forget to frown.
And subscribe. And bye.
And see you next time when we will debrief this interview.
But not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow because editing is gonna be a while. Not gonna lie to you.